You're welcome.
Well, hello.
Hi, guys.
Wow.
There's nobody on yet.
I need my water. Jesus Christ.
Nobody's on yet. That was a Facebook message.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're just waiting for people to hop on. Hi, guys. We are back because we promised last night that we would get back on and tell you who Lauren is, and give you a little bit of her background story and explain to you why she is at visit at McKean with me this weekend. Hi, who was that?
Hi, Heather.
Oh, hey, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Adam gives you guys his love. I told him that you sent love, and he was so excited to hear from you and that you guys are doing well. How was visit? It was really good.
Interesting. For me, we'll get into that as to why that's interesting.
Hi, everybody hopping on. For some reason, YouTube is not showing us everybody that's hopping on, so we can see people are coming on, but for some reason we only saw Heather's name pop up. Oh, there are some people. Hi, Carly. Good to see you again. Oh, you're welcome. He misses him. Okay, so why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Okay, so I'm Lauren. For those of you that don't know me, I have been part of SPWF almost 5 years now, which is hard to believe. And I started as a MWI for a gentleman that was in a low in Beaumont, and some of you might know my story already. And we were together for almost 5 years, I guess.
Wow, again.
Maybe? Yeah. Time flew. He actually got home in August of 2016. I'm from Florida, and he was from Virginia, and they sent him back. He was in federal, and the BOP sent him back to Virginia. And about 3 months after he got home, our relationship wasn't doing so well, and then there was a whole bunch of other stuff that started in there.
And really quick, I think you should tell them why why you weren't married, why you didn't come to Florida, because that's like a lot of like BOP stuff they should probably know.
So the whole reason, my fuzzy socks. Hi.
Or mine.
Yeah, it's cold here. There's a lot of snow on the ground. So the BOP actually would not let us get married in Beaumont. We tried to get married, and the warden that was at the camp at the time ixnayed all weddings. So we were supposed to get married in April of 2015, and we actually had it like kind of scheduled where my mom was going to be there and his mom was going to be there. However, they got rid of it, so we were not actually able to get married, which really sucked. And then when he came home in August of 2016, before that we had tried to change his address to Miami, Florida, and the BOP said no because he had no family ties to Florida, even though he didn't want to go back to Virginia. Excuse me, that's my alarm. I already talked to my kids.
I thought it was a call. I was like,
no, it's my alarm to call my kids. Moved to Florida with me because the BOP said no, because he had no family ties to Florida, Virginia. He had 4 children and a mom and a dad and all that stuff. He knew that none of that was really good for him. So in August 2016, and like I said, 6 months after he got home, it was kind of a really rocky story. He was in the halfway house for a little bit in DC, and then he was home on house arrest and was working. I went out for Christmas. New to SPWF. Well, we're glad we can help you through this journey.
oh, that's awesome.
It definitely helped me through my first journey, hence why I'm at visit. And then we actually broke up in January of this year. Like I said, he came home in August of 2016. He was really it was good for him to be home. But after about 6 months, we started to kind of notice a difference. Just in how it was almost like the honeymoon period kind of wore off. So I noticed some things, he noticed some things. He was in Virginia, I was in Florida. We kept trying to get him to move to Florida, but we had to wait till he was out of the halfway house, which wasn't until February of 2017, or house arrest, I should say. And then I'm trying to kind of skip through all the shitty parts of it.
But I think while you're skipping and saying that, I think that the reason why I had you go back and say about them not letting you get married and him coming down to Florida. Like,
Yeah.
basically, we were talking about this yesterday. The BOP kind of set them up for failure. And I
Yes.
think that a lot of the times, purposely or not purposely, I don't know.
Right.
But I think a lot of the times it feels like that happens. And so I think that, how do I say this? Like, I think that, well, I think you need to get to the next part about the 6 months and everything before I make this next point. But I think it's very straining on our relationships, especially MWI relationships, because you didn't live together before.
Right. We had never lived together before, and the BOP, which is the Bureau of Prisons for people that don't know federal, and you guys deal with DOCs, which is the Department of Corrections for whatever state you are in. But the BOP really didn't, like, they literally set us up. They wouldn't let us get married because the warden decided no longer to do marriages, which was stupid considering we'd already been together for years. I'd already been visiting for years. We'd already been engaged for years, that type of thing. And just because a warden decided that he didn't want to do marriages anymore, we weren't allowed to get married, which then snowballed into when he tried to change his address to come home to mine. I actually had a parole officer show up at my house, do a home inspection. I passed the home inspection, but they came back and was like, well, because he doesn't have any family ties to you, but he has family ties back home. And I was like, but he doesn't want to go back home because that's setting him up for putting him right back into the town of 2,500 people that he came from and setting him up for failure.
Plus, he was closer to you than those family ties anyway.
Yeah, so the reason why they kept saying it was because he had 4 children and he had a mom and dad and that type of thing. But at the time, 2 of his children were adults. One was in high school and the other one was much younger. So I consider the 3 older ones to have been grown up and out of the house. And he communicated to his children through me anyway for a good 2.5 years that he was the last 2.5 years he was in. So it wasn't like he had a very strong relationship with them. Same thing with his mom. He didn't really have a very strong relationship with her. All of his minutes went to me versus going to her. They were in Virginia. They couldn't come and visit to Texas, which is where he was. I went to visit more often. I did fly his mom out to Texas at one point for a visit, which was, one of the last visits we had before he was released. So the BOP just kind of, he was part of the 2-point rule, so he got time off. So had he not gotten the time off with the 2-point rules, he would have been further from the door, and maybe they would have done it. Maybe they wouldn't have. I'm still not really sure, but I know that setting him up and sending him back to the very small town that he was from was a big concern for both of us, and it ended up being what ended up tearing us apart in the long run. Anyway, we managed to make it we had a good 6 months, and then it was a rocky year after that, basically, and it was a very rocky year after that.
2-point rule.
The 2-point rule. So the 2-point rule went into effect, oh God, 3 years ago, and it was federal, and it was where when they went in, anybody who's sentenced now is automatically part of it, but it ended up being retroactive, where anybody who went in and was a non-violent first-time drug offender ended up getting their sentencing points, which would determine their the drug table with bracketing and how it was all their sentencing guidelines was reduced by 2 points. So in his case, his points were reduced from 34 to 32. So he actually went from the bracket, which was 170 to 210 months, down to 134 to 169, and he got moved into that. That's my biggest fear. We talk about him being released back to where he grew up and getting caught in the same group. It's a real fear.
So so that's a really good
it's a real
question.
Fear.
How would you advise somebody who was in the same situation that you and Spencer were put in to potentially set their relationship up for success? Like, what do you think that you guys could have done? I know your relationship, it could have even gone differently, but what do you suggest to her, because that is her fear, and let's say it does happen?
do whatever you can to get them out of that situation. I know that sounds easier said than done, and you're going to have a lot of obstacles, but whatever you can, setting them, it depends on how big the town is, and if you can move to a different part of town, and if you can associate with different people, and get them away from those people. But it's really funny. I actually know quite a few people that have been in my situation where the first 6 months is great. They come out and then they literally revert right back to who they are
Because they were dumped
dumped right back to where they were. And you'd be amazed, like, all of these people that say they're friends and then disappear their whole entire sentence, and then all of a sudden they're back in town and they're like, hey, what's up? And they're trying to better themselves. We would have to move out west to get away from it, literally. And I'm telling you, if you can, do it. I mean, and I know that sounds like horrible. It's not good advice, but you need to get them away from all of that situation. Anything that is going to suck them right back in, because they are literally set up for failure.
Because he was like a different person, right?
He was a completely different person. I mean, who he said he was, who he said he was versus who he became. He reverted right back to the person that he told me he never wanted to be again. And unfortunately, that was the surroundings around him. Now, I'm not saying, like, I think for somebody, no, not always. Most of the time, at least for the BOP, whatever address they have in their system is where they end up going to the halfway house, which is it's normally their home address.
And also, remember, I don't know who said that, I can't see, or when you hopped on, but they were MWI, which means that they met while Warren was from Florida and he's from Virginia. So it's going to be different if you're from the same state, the same area, or if you are an MBI. So let's say she can't move out west, she can't leave the states, can't leave the state. Like, what advice would you give for them to, if they are just sucked in and there's nothing that they can do to change it? They fought, they tried. What advice?
If they were a drug offender, they need to go to NA meetings. If they were alcoholic, they need to go to AA meetings. They need to seek therapy. PTSD from being incarcerated is real.
Yeah.
It really, really is real. And anybody who
it's all about their choices. Okay.
Right.
I agree.
It is all about their choices, but in my particular case, I was in Florida and he was in Virginia, and it was very difficult for us. It was very difficult for me to continue to say, like, and to keep him on a positive path versus going down the other one.
And while Lauren's reading that, I lived through it with Lauren, and she did everything she could from where she was. Like, it almost got to the point where you were like teetering like mommy doing stuff, because she tried so hard, but ultimately it was up to him, and it is up to your person when they're getting out, if they're in the same situation that Spencer was doing. He has to want it. He has to do it. Like, you can't be his mother and his wife at the same time, nor should you have to be. So I love advice about NA and AA, and if you can, get the hell out of Dodge. If you can't, really, really, really just focus on keeping him on that path and that straight and narrow and doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Because otherwise, they are, he had been 8 years. So he had, it was kind of like he did time, like, don't get me wrong, but like he wasn't in for like a very, very extended period. And I think even people that do your 4 years still come out and they still haven't dealt with all the demons that they had that put them in there in the first place. And if you don't deal with those demons are going to come back. And I'm a firm believer in mental health therapy. Very, very firm believer in that. So again, the NA meetings, the AA meetings, the seeking out, the therapist, doesn't hurt to talk to somebody, and getting out all of those things. Yes, therapy. Yes, therapy is very, and it's good for them.
I'm going to come up and read these comments to you.
So halfway house is a specific period for time for all federal inmates.
Oh, good question. I'm
yes,
it is. Shot, and I'm just going to read these to you.
Yes, it is. So they actually know how much federal or halfway house time they'll get. They can ask their counselor if they're not quite sure. Hold on.
Somebody else just said, agreed, the demons are real. Okay. He
Yes.
asked me to attend therapy with him. Amen. Mental health help.
Yes. So attending therapy with him is a big thing. He needs to go by himself too. You guys need to do kind of it's almost like marriage counseling, but not really. You need to do your own therapy with him coming back home and all of the feelings that you're dealing with. He needs to go to therapy to talk about all the feelings he does, and then you guys need to come together to communicate. And I mean, I have an amazing therapist now that is helping me through still dealing with all of the Spencer issues. Oops, I just said his name. Anyway,
I did too before.
I know, it's all right. Most of you should probably know who he is anyway. We are not together. We actually broke up in January, and he is now married. We're not getting into that. Doesn't matter. It's his life. It's not mine.
I've been in recovery for almost 3 years, and it takes a lot to do in the same city, but it's a lot of uncovering reasons why you drink. Absolutely. Is there a poster? Do you say Canada and halfway house mean? So I think the halfway houses are really different right now.
Yeah. So the halfway houses, he would have to, if he gets 6 months halfway house time, you count back 6 months from the actual date that's on the BOP website. Is how
Heather,
you do
I
it.
love that. Somebody said there should be NA for criminal behavior, and Heather just said we need to start an association for that. For like criminal. Actually, one of my biggest dreams for SPWF is to be able to provide free therapy and to get therapists on board for all of our members, because I think that is something that is huge and we need. What have I stumbled upon?
Amazingness in Bradford, Pennsylvania.
Ooh, did we just get a hacker, a spammer?
I don't know.
I'm obsessed with them.
So anyway, so back to who I am and why I'm here. So my story, we had a very rocky, he got out in August of 2016. We did good up until about February of 2017. And then we had a very, very rocky end of 2017. And then in 2018, the very beginning of this year, I flew up there for a day. I thought everything was going to work out. And a week later, we broke up. And I don't need to get into the nitty-gritty details. Oh.
No, really, why are you doing a live chat? Because why wouldn't we be doing a live chat?
Right, because it's Saturday and it's in Pennsylvania. We have nothing better to do.
Nothing better to do.
We're
Under
trying
5 feet of snow.
Yeah, there's a lot of snow outside. So we're kind of just talking about who I am, my story. Rose off camera, you can't even see her.
Sorry, I didn't know if that was a troll or... I love live chats. We do too, Carly. I didn't know if that was a troll because of my last video, I had a major troll. So, that's why I was giving those kind of sarcastic responses. But go ahead.
So,
thanks, Mama.
I thought that, after being with him for almost 5 years, I thought that was my life. He had come out. I thought we were going to do okay. I mean, I totally had that in my head. I thought we were completely perfect for each other. And I was really depressed about it. I mean, I was upset. I mean, I was heartbroken. I felt like I kind of maybe have been used, but I don't think he actually used me ever. I don't think he intentionally set out to hurt me either. I just really think that our situation, we just didn't work out. And there's no other way to say it other than we just didn't work out.
I agree, but I also think that, and it worked out for the better anyway, but yes. I also think that you guys were royally screwed by the system. And that's why we're on here, and that's why we're talking about this, because if you find yourself in a situation, Lauren's not the only one. Unfortunately, we've been talking about this for a really long time, and we've been attempting to make this video for a really long time. We were supposed to be together in October. That unfortunately didn't happen. And then earlier this month, and that didn't happen. Because we've seen with so many people, it almost seems to be crazy, wrong word to use, but it's the only one that's coming to mind, an epidemic, that around 6 months to a year, things start to go south. And that's why we wanted to make this video and bring it to your attention and give you tools to help you through. There are success stories, of course, but there are also a lot of stories where people are they don't have the right tools and they're dumped back into the situation, like Lauren's ex was dumped right back in there, and they're set up for failure. So one, we want to bring it to your attention. And then also we want to see how we can help you through it does not happen to you.
And then, so now so probably in around
Oh,
July.
yoga. I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's all right.
Mama's on, so she can probably, I don't think Megan's on, but she could probably help you while we talk with being a volunteer.
So, and then, I'll do that.
Yeah, we are in the process. I saw that comment before. We are in the process of setting up local support groups in every state. And then I saw in that same comment, there was something else that I didn't read fast enough. But yes, we are in the process of doing it. And we are looking for state chapters. We're piloting it out very slowly, but we're working with a few different organizations to get that set up. So just hang on, because we will be doing it. And of course, we are looking to go internationally, LD, of course. Okay, sorry.
So, so in June, and I don't want to go into like a because I don't feel the need to say a lot of details about like how our actual story ended. I spoke to him in March. So we broke up in January. I spoke to him in March. He called me out of the blue, and then I saw him in June for the first time in 6 months.
Ooh, Lisa, I'm going to answer that in a second, but we'll let Lauren finish this part.
So I haven't spoken to him or seen him since June. He has since remarried, which is odd to me, just because we were together for so long. And but in around probably like July, right? I guess probably like the end of July. Like I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to kind of date again. I'm not really sure. I don't know really what I want. So I of course had a friend who made up a profile for me, and like I went on a couple of dates and it was god awful. And then I realized, and then I was talking to Ro about it. I'm like, I kind of just miss the companionship of talking to somebody, and not having the added stress of, I have a teenage boy, I have a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old girl, and kind of going into that new relationship, like at this age, I just turned 39. The dating scene is like not for me at this point. Like I'm just, so I actually had reached out to Ro and I was like, hey, do you by chance, I was like, why don't you ask Adam if he knows of anybody at McKean that might want to talk or whatever. And she was like, as a matter of fact, hence why I'm here now. So that was in August.
And so here's this end of the story, is that Adam had asked me a couple of months before this conversation with Lauren if I had been anybody for one of his friends, and he has never in 10 years done that, ever. But because he has to really, really, really like somebody, really, really, really trust somebody, and really know that they're not going to screw somebody over. And it wasn't for anything romantic, just more for like, hey, like kick around ideas, have a female perspective, have a male perspective, have a pen pal, have a friend, because this guy is really matured. He doesn't have that communication. And, it's one thing to communicate and mature and talk to all of the guys, but it's another thing for a male and female to communicate and bounce ideas off of one another. First of all, I shut him down. I was like, absolutely not doing it. And then I completely forgot about it. A couple of days prior to Lauren saying this to me ironically, I was driving out to visit and we were on the phone. The guy said to Adam, dude, like, did your wife forget about me? What's up? Like, she said she was going to help, or you said she was going to help, and then you talked to her, and what happened?
Right.
Because actually, I was like, hell no at first, and then I was like, all right, maybe. And then I forgot about it. And so Lauren had said this on the phone, and I was like, and you were just like upset. Like, do you mind if I say this part?
Yeah.
Okay. You're like, I just don't get it. Like, I could cry. I'm so emotional today. Like, I could cry saying this because I believe all of these things about you. And she's like, I'm a beautiful girl. She's like, I don't get it. Like, you are. I'm beautiful, which you are. I have so much to offer somebody. Like, I just don't understand why this is happening. Like, I miss communicating. I miss emailing. I miss that, like, that deep connection with somebody that doesn't happen around here. Like, even if it just meant like emailing somebody every once in a while on core links, just to have that adult communication. Because I've been with you through all of Spencer, and I've been with you through all of after Spencer and dating, and it was just so shallow.
Yeah.
Not from your end, from their end. Here's everything I know about him, and I ran it down, and I'll let you take over. But I just thought it was like the serendipity, maybe?
Yeah, and so of course as you can now see, I am now in Bradford, Pennsylvania. It's not that
right, we have to address that, because
so it's not that I am, like, I didn't seek it out for, like, again, I'm 39 years old. I have a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old. Dating sucks. Like, the pool, I'm from Tampa, Florida. The pool in that area was divorced bald men, and I'm just not, like, I just could, it was nothing that it was, there was nobody attractive for me. Like, I tried Match, I tried a couple of dating websites. I mean, I just, you remember, I mean, it was awful. Like, I just wasn't getting anywhere. And it was like, you talk to somebody, you go on a date, and you'd be like, okay, I mean, kind of, but not really. And it just, I mean, I remember one date I went on, and it was, I mean, like, the guy had never even seen the Goonies. I'm like, how the hell can you live without ever seeing the Goonies? LOL. So I just, so for me, you know, I missed that constant kind of, like, I could count on it, communication.
And I could say this to you. I mean, I could say this removed, right? So Lauren and I had this conversation, and she's like, Ro, I'm serious. Pen pal, friend, that is it, right? So then, like, there, I remember a couple weeks later, after you guys started communicating, like, maybe more or something like that, and she checked me. Like, I'm telling you, I'm serious. Like, no. Oh, I'm not that girl. I'm not, like, inmate hopper, for lack of a better word. Like, absolutely not, just friends. And I remember I was at Visit a couple weeks later, and I told Adam, I was like, do not push him on anything, because that is not cool. That is not what she wants. Just friends. So for all of you guys that are like, I would never do that again, I say the same thing. I would never do that again. Lauren said the same thing. She would never do that again. But the reason we're here telling you about this is not saying, like, if it doesn't work out, go to find somebody else in jail, please. Both of us are like, never do that. Yeah. But the reason we're here is to just tell you the background, to tell you what happened with the first relationship, how to avoid it for yourself. And, you know, if potentially is into something else, we don't know what the future holds. But I would love for Lauren to come for all of our MWI members, because about 50% of our members are MWI, to show you new MWIs how a relationship maturely progresses. If it happens, we're not saying that's going to happen. She's taking it one step at a time, very maturely. So we're not here for anybody to cast judgment, or, and I don't think that you were with that comment, that's not what I'm saying, but we're doing it to educate.
Yep, I'm an MWI.
Yeah, see, most of our members are. A lot of our members are.
I mean, and I was an MWI member. I mean, and again, we were together for,
oh, that's sweet.
Oh, thank you. I'm okay now. Like, I was not okay for a while. I really wasn't. I mean, Ro could attest to this. Like, we were just not, I was not in a good place. My health was really bad. And I just, like, I kind of was, like, really down on myself. Like, I gave him everything, and it just didn't work out. And it wouldn't have made a difference. Honestly, it would not have made a difference had he been in, because he was out for 2 years by the time we actually broke up. So
hey, sweetheart.
It was even after, but it's all the aftermath of the being put back into the same situation that he was in, and not being able to be here with me and actually start a life. Like, that really hurt us, and we just couldn't overcome it. And as much as I thought our relationship was solid, and I still probably to this day, and he probably would think not, I could probably still tell you what he's thinking and why he's doing what he's doing. I really firmly believe that, but it didn't work out, and I am not in, like, we had been broken up months,
long time,
8 months. And then that's when I kind of was like, all right, well, I need to start doing something, and I miss the companionship.
You're a very, very extroverted person. You do like to just talk to people on a very deep, personal level. Good for you, Lauren. I agree. Like, it can get something other than the bills in the mail. It's cool. I'm sorry. I like
and
saw
then,
that.
And then somebody was saying they were going to rewatch and watch it. So big hugs. Thank you for rewatching, when you go back and rewatch it. So now I am, okay, so fast forward to where we are in August, and we do start talking. And we, of course, hit it off really well, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, and because he, of course, was like, he's a great guy. He's an absolutely amazing guy. However, I have been down this road before, and I have said to him numerous times, stop. Think about this, because again, this is not my first rodeo. I've done, and like all of these signs and everything, and like things he would say to me, and I'm like, I've heard this before. So, like, fool me once, what is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I'm like, I'm not going to do this again. However, like, I still enjoyed talking to him, and I still enjoyed the communication. And Spencer was older than me. He is younger than me. Not that I think age plays a difference, but I do think age plays a difference in this particular case. And one of the very first things that was intrigued him was, and this is going to sound so stupid, but we have the same birthday, the same day. So we are identical. Like, we have so many parallel things. It's the own person. So when I'm like, I feel like I'm talking to myself at the time. So we get along really well in that aspect of it because of that.
Oh, are you noticing jail talk and deciding if it's truth or talk? Good question, Mama.
Yes. So, yes, definitely, for sure. Because again, for him, for the, and I'm just gonna say his name. His name's Eric. So for time around, for him, again, it's my second time going, pen pal, whatever you want to call it. And for him, he's been down 7 years already, and he has quite a bit left to go. And for him, he's not been in a relationship like this. He has a past where he's never encountered something like this, and he's never encountered like some of these feelings, and even some of these feelings that I may be like bringing up for him, he's working out on his own time. Like, it's me bringing them up, but it's not me. He has to work through that shit on his own. Like, it really is kind of, again, here at Visit, I got to meet him for the first time today. Visit was incredible. We did a lot of staring, which he didn't believe me would happen, which was kind of entertaining. He was like, we're not going to sit there. He's like, we're going to have so much to talk about. Because again, it's taking in a whole lot of that whole situation.
Well, you said this before too. Like, he hasn't interacted with a new female.
Correct.
In 8 years. Yes, there's female cops in there, but they're just viewed very differently. So just the fact that you met a new female for the first time in 8 years, it's a lot. I couldn't read the whole thing. What was
yes
it?
And no. Like, something about, I should have read it out loud. About past addicted like, was it just jail talk and like past addicted behaviors? So for this particular instance, no on the jail talk. Like, I mean, it was
from Eric or from Spencer?
I think it's from Eric. I think, okay. Mama, did you mean Eric or did you mean Spencer? Love to talk to you via email. Ask her. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. And then,
she's awesome.
So,
Of course.
Of course, I will talk to anybody. And of course, again, I say of course, but I've been out of the work.
Thank you for doing this. I'm talking to someone in prison. It's been 3 months and I have no idea what to expect. But watching you, see, that's why I wanted to do this, you guys. And thank you so much for doing this.
Of
because
course.
we have so many members who, just like you, are just new into this, and 3 months into this, and a couple months into this, and I don't know if this is right, and I don't know if this is wrong, and this is personified, your feelings, and we can go through this step by step all together.
So, and again, 3 months is where I'm at right now in my current talking relationship. I was very upfront in the beginning, where I was like, no, like, I'm not, like, I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. I want to have somebody. I meant you hear the same thing Spencer said and would wonder if Eric was just talking. No, I think it is how they all, I think a lot of them, especially ones, Spencer had been down 5 years, I think, by the time, 5 years, and Eric's been down 7. So when I enter, it had been a while for them. So I'm bringing feelings, and something that Spencer never did was admit his feelings. Something that Eric does is he admits his feelings. And Eric's also sober now compared to when he had all of these feelings before. And he's very much aware of his current situation and those feelings, and he's brutally honest. you just said I'm an extrovert, so is he. It's basically me 6 years younger in a male form. I mean, it really is. Like it's I've met my match with him. Like I really have. Like we have in-depth conversations, and when we have gotten into like the few rifts that we have gotten into, like we butt heads. We are Scorpios, so any of you that know anything about Scorpios, we are like tried and true. Both we are both passionate, we are both loyal, all of it. So
I do think there is an intensity of needing to think through communication, so I think aspects of our relationship might improve, but parts are harder. I missed part of
God,
it.
that goes fast.
Okay, so let me do the jail talk thing, and then we'll talk about the communication thing really quick. But the jail talk thing is also, I didn't really quite follow all of the questioning about the jail talk, but what I can say is jail talk regarding...
Happy birthday.
Jail talk regarding Eric. He is Adam's friend, right? So you guys that have been with us for a really long time, basically I'm an open book about Adam. Adam holds his integrity higher than anything else, like, because to him, like, his integrity is all that he has in there, and he's never tried to play me, he's never tried to lie to me or do the jail talk thing to me, and I've fact checked him. I mean, we've been together a really, really, really long time, and we've known each other for a really, really, really long time. So the fact that this is a recommendation, for lack of a better word, from Adam, we know it's not going to be just some guy who's spitting game at Lauren, because it's not going to happen that way.
And also, Adam also knows about what happened to me with Spencer.
Yeah, he lived through the whole thing too.
He lived through the whole thing too. So I don't think, which is why, like, somebody asked me recently, in my private life, well, how could you do it again? And I'm like, well, Adam wouldn't do that to me. Ro wouldn't do that to me. And if Adam finds him as like, and again, holds him up to this very high standard, I don't think that he's playing me at all. So
Happy birthday.
I've never once felt like,
Oh, good question. Okay, let's go to, you finish your thought, I'll do the
Okay.
communication, and then we'll both talk about love after lockup.
Okay.
I think we might even have different views on it.
quite possibly.
Yes.
Because I actually know Jonna.
Right.
So for me, again, like this new communication and this new time is, it has parallels to the first time I did it, but this time is, no, I don't think there's any jail talk. And actually, I never believed that Spencer was pulling my leg. Like, I felt like he was a genuine person. I feel like we just were set up for failure when we came out. Period. End of story. I don't think our story would have ended the way it had he been able to come to Florida and not been pushed back to Virginia. I 100% agree to that.
I agree too.
But that is not where I'm at in our situation. He's married. I've moved on. It is what it is. The great famous jail term, it is what it is, but it's true. So for me, I don't believe, there are guys that run a game, trust and believe there are guys that run games, but I don't think that either time I was played by that. So if you feel like in your heart of heart, to the one who asked the question about jail talk or whether it's real, if you feel like in your heart of hearts it's real, go for it. I mean, I am not one to judge you. Nobody in this community is going to judge you. We are all going to support you 100% no matter what.
I don't really like it because it seems cheesy, and then I missed it.
Yeah.
You guys, YouTube comments go so fast, so if you just like put another comment, even if it's a dot underneath what you just sent, it'll pop it back up for us and we'll be able to read it. So whoever just posted that last comment, just put like a dot or an emoji or something and we'll see it again. But until then, I'm going to talk about the communication. To the person who said your communication on the outside was bad, so your communication on the inside has been bad, my response back to that is, what can you guys do to remove your, or to improve your communication right now while he's inside? Because all of the physical has been stripped away from you, so all you have right now is your communication. So there are journals for people that have trouble communicating, like separated by prison, united by conviction. I know Journey and Ben Reed have a journal, from strength to struggle, right? We'll get the links for you.
One of those.
Yeah, I think it's from struggle to strength, because that only makes sense. Otherwise, it's backwards. Those are really good journals. They're like thought-provoking questions. So
I don't really
That's
like
really
it 'cause
good.
it's
Or
so
you could
cheesy and
just
makes us-
do the book, The Five Love Languages, read that together. That was like a relationship game changer for me. Actually, in Visit today, Adam asked me, what is the one book that you've given to people the most as a gift? And that was the one. It's called The Five Love Languages. I will do a review on that sometime. Did you get that one question?
Yeah, it's something about being cheesy and they don't like it. I mean, women run games too. I mean, we completely understand that as well, and we know that not everybody does. I mean, again, I didn't think I did it I didn't think I was run on the first time, and I don't think I'm being
I
run on
still
the
don't think
second
you were
time.
run on the first
no,
time
I
either.
don't.
Review on the book. You got it. Let me write myself a note. Now, my thoughts on Love After Lockup are going to be different from Lauren's, but my thought for the person who asked it, I cannot stand that show, but that is a very personal thing. I've been working for all of the years that SPWF has been around to remove this. Are you so hot? Yeah, me too. To remove the stigma that exists against prison wives and family members. And sometimes I think I work a little bit too hard that it starts working against me. But I think that show is for ratings and I think it's for drama. And I think that it plays to the stigma, but that's why I can't stand it. But like shows like Released or 60 Days In that put it in the right light, I've helped recruit people for those shows. Like I've helped the producers find people through our community. So I'm not against shows that are related to this life. I just don't care for Love After Lockup. What's your thought on it?
So, my actual thought on Love After Lockup is some of it is true, some of it is not. It is, I mean, I know from personal experience that parts of it are not true and parts of it aren't true, and the parts that you see, I mean, it's a reality TV show. I mean, again, I think they do hurt the stigma of like some of us, but I mean, I know they're still together. I know, I don't remember the girl from Utah, I think, and then the California dude, I think they're still together. Reality TV isn't reality. Very true.
Thank you, Mama.
Thanks. Yeah, strength from struggles. Yeah, reality TV isn't reality. Again, I know Jana. I've hung out with Jana before. Jana is a great person. She's doing amazing. Even though her and Gary didn't quite work out, I am like in total. She was able to just up and move from Tampa and move. She is doing amazing for herself there. So again, it's all what you, and you just have to, I feel like if you treat a relationship like a relationship instead of the versus like, oh, well, he's in jail and he's in prison and then he comes home and all that stuff. If you treat it like a regular relationship, relationships work and relationships don't work. Period. End of story. Like I was married, I'm divorced, and that didn't work. But he wasn't in jail, so it had nothing to do with it. I was with Spencer, that didn't work. Did jail break us up? Kind of, but not really.
I think the system broke you.
Yeah, the system broke us. And it was very hard for us to get back to where we were before that. So I think you just have to
Thank you, Lisanne.
You just have to, you're either in or you're out. I'm not a YOLO person. I'm really not. But at the same time, like
I'm a YOLO when I cheat on my diet. I'm like, YOLO, one more cookie. That's me.
But for me, I really feel like it's just this, this life is not easy at all. Do I send one to
Yes,
him?
so you could do it a couple of different ways. You can send him a copy and get yourself a copy. You can get a copy yourself. If you have email, you can email him the questions, or you can mail him the questions, or you can do that opposite, like send him the copy and have him send you the questions. But I think the easiest is to get a copy and send him a copy.
And one of the things that Eric and I kind of did the same thing. Me too on the diet YOLO. And Eric and I
shopping,
did.
Carly.
Yes, and definitely shopping. We got stuck yesterday. It took us a long time to get here yesterday because we stopped at 2 malls on the way.
But we only bought stuff at 1.
This is true. Does that count?
Do you hear what they're watching over there?
No. Charlie Brown. I saw a meme once at a divorce billboard off the freeway and it said you only on it once. This is true.
What did it say?
A divorce billboard that said YOLO on it.
That's amazing.
But for me, like this time around, instead of doing like separated by whatever it's called, I forget. You would think I would know this after this many years. I
never did the journal, have you?
Spencer and I kind of did it.
Oh, you did it?
But not a whole lot. We did like maybe 20 questions out of it.
I sent it to him and he never got it.
Huh. This time around, Eric and I just played 20 questions. And I know that sounds stupid, but it was like I came up with 20 questions and he wrote me back and answered. And then he wrote me 20 questions and then I wrote back and answered them. And then I got in trouble because my answers weren't exactly specific enough. I say in trouble, but I really didn't get in trouble. He was like, you wrote yes to a couple of the questions.
I mean, it was a yes or no question. That's what you Mr. Life Coach.
Of course, he wanted.
I love 20 questions.
Yes. Or, would you go skydiving? Like, yeah.
Awesome.
And you know, and oh, that's another thing. And Google him. So before I even started talking to him, like the very first email I got from him, he was like, hey, I'm so-and-so, yada, yada. I wish I could go back. I wish I could have gone and printed it. Anyway, it was super cute, but it was still like one of those things that he didn't know a whole lot about. I've gone on Pacer. I've gotten your court records. And he was like, oh, that is that. Go back and watch it, and it explains exactly why you need to do that. And then to the person that asked where to get those 20 questions or what 20 questions, really they're just questions that you really want to know the answer to. We did the things from middle school, then another about teen years, and just crazy ones. That's a good idea. For us, it was literally like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite animal? Like, those were the first ones off the top of your head. And then, like, the next ones were, they would get a little deeper. One of them, I'm not gonna say it, actually, never mind. I'm trying to think of, like, he asked me what my favorite tree was. I kid you not. So he's from Minnesota, and he was a logger up in Minnesota before he got put away. And so again in Florida, he's like, what's your favorite tree? And I was like, duh, the palm tree. We don't have a lot of trees in Florida. I live in Tampa. I live near the beach. There's not a lot of trees. Mangroves. We have swamps. Not a lot of trees. So,
For us, it was random questions.
Yeah, like favorite childhood cartoon. Yeah, and then we did stuff like that. So even being married with kids, we still ask. Yeah, and it's
so smart.
And it's true. It is true. Like even randomly. And I remember, like, one of the things that, going back to Spencer, one of the first things we did when we first started talking was we went on dates. And I know that sounds weird, but, like, if you had your ideal first date, what would we do?
I love that.
And we did that. And date, everything went great. Where would we go on our second date? And like things like that.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I beat his ass in mini golf the second date.
Nice.
Yeah, he didn't want to admit that, but anyway, I did. We actually never played mini golf. But we did go to Busch Gardens. That was our third date. Anyway,
real life date or
yeah, real life. Well, we said it in the letters and then that, but
that's cute AF. I love that.
So we again, you know, and for us, like those are different.
Mama.
Those are different ways that you can connect with them. You do the stupid 20 questions, like you know. Again, I
what does that say?
I don't know, but
can someone put a dot?
And they're not stupid questions. They're not dumb questions.
They feel dumb, probably.
Like again, what's your favorite tree? Like what's your dream car?
We listen to music over the phone and sing to each other. So that's adorable.
We have playlists going back and forth. Eric and I both have playlists going back and forth. I'll find songs and then he'll send me songs and he downloads my songs and then I download his songs so that when we're out both like going for walks because he likes to walk around the track or on the treadmill. He likes to work out a lot. He's a mini Adam.
He is. And you guys, things that feel cheesy on the outside, like when you're on the outside, you have to worry about things like taking out the garbage and who's going to pick up the kids from school. And when you're on the inside, you don't have that. So things might feel cheesy, but that's okay. Like, it's not. probably somebody in the outside, if we just had a conversation with like our third friend who's not in a prison relationship, and Lauren's like, yeah, we used to go on makeup dates, they'd be like, you're weird. But here we're like, oh my God, you're adorable. That's so cute. I never thought of that. I'm going to do that. Because that's how it is in these types of relationships. So cheesy is fine.
Yeah. And again, it's one of those, like, he's now holding me to the fact that I told him he asked me what I was afraid of, and I said heights, and in the same letter he asked me if I would ever go skydiving, and I said yes.
Oh my God, this is so cute. She did it with one of her inmates. It was called 72 Hours Together. It was fun.
Yeah, like and it was, one of the other questions he asked me was like, what's your favorite meal? Like, what's your favorite food? What would you do in the first 24 hours that I'm out? Like, what would you want to do with me, type of thing. Obviously, like, y'all can go to that one place, but it was more like, where would you take me? What would you show me if you had 24 hours, type of thing. Like your hometown, like where all the, like, the local things, like, would you show me the house you grew up in and all that type of thing. But it's just fun stuff to kind of get to know each other. We know each other. It's still one of those, like, it's just fun. I don't know what else to say.
I think it is fun. And you know what you guys were going to do? This just popped into my mind. On the new Strong Prison Wives and Families website, strongprisonwives.com or strongprisonwivesandfamilies.com, they both go to the same new website. We have a section where it's called the premium section, right? And we have a couple of things behind closed doors because needs or want to see that. But every month, books, we have all kinds of fun stuff. Well, in there, I think we'll start uploading a list of 20 questions for you guys each month, or 10 questions each month, or whatever. Lisanne's probably going to kill me because I'm giving us more work, but that's okay. Each month, and maybe Lauren can, again. Yeah, I was just going to say that. And we'll put those in there for you guys. So yes, yeah. So yes, you're going to kill me, or yeah. Or yes, Lauren's joining again.
Yes, I was gonna say yes to me coming back.
So I think that'll be something really, really special for you guys. That would be awesome. Good.
Yeah. So the first date thing was, I mean, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, I mean, it's, you know, it goes to help with the questions. I'm still waiting to hear back from the emails though. Yeah, so, as far as emails, we can email in the feds.
Sorry, my handwriting's like a little boy.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. So, any way that you can communicate. And I actually liked, like, we did it handwriting letters, and one of the main reasons why I wasn't able to come earlier in the month, we can only write. And even if you write, that's fine. Like, you just write a normal letter and then be like, hey, I thought this would be fun, here's 20 questions, type of thing, will you write me back? And for us, I actually was giving him crap today at visit. I was like, I didn't get a letter from you this week. He's the type of person that has, they went on lockdown for 6 days, 7 days, 6 days, something like that earlier this month. And I got a letter every day, and then the envelopes were numbered, like, so that, because I got them all in the same day. And we're not talking like 2-3 page letters, we're talking like 9-page letters. They've got a lot of time on their hands when they're locked down. And he was writing me stuff, and then he ended up actually asking me 40 more questions, which I wasn't going to write back to, so I actually emailed him back. Had I not been able to email him, I would have written him back. But mine is waiting to go on lockdown for 30 days. Okay.
How do they know they're going on lockdown for 30 days? That's so interesting. I know some places pre-schedule their lockdowns. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, that would be nice. I wouldn't have lost money on my last flight.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but I still think that they do.
That sucks,
I think they still do lockdowns for things like, you know, when things pop off, but...
Oh, yeah. So, Canada doesn't have emails. Some systems have emails, some systems don't. Some systems have video visits, some systems don't. And give him space to answer. He just returned my paper with the answers. So, yeah, for Eric and I, it was a list, like literally 1 dot question, 2 dot question. And then when we would respond with, this was the question you asked. And I would take pictures of what I wrote and sent to him because otherwise I would forget what my answers are. That's so horrible.
I get it.
That's so horrible.
Adam and I were arguing about who has the worst memory today. I was like, I have a bad memory. He's like, no, you don't. I was like, yours is better. You have to remember.
Yeah, I mean, and even sharing the paper is good. I don't know if some facilities will let them write on the same piece of paper and send it back out. So that's a facility thing. You never know. These guys are kind of crazy.
Worst memory ever. I don't know. You might have met your match with that.
Quite possibly.
Bad memory.
Yeah, hence why she's writing 9 million notes over here.
Notes from what you guys are saying, so we don't forget to answer them.
On the piece of paper.
Bad memory. I'm just like have way too many things going on at the same time, and multitasking.
Like usual. Okay. Yeah. I cannot believe they're watching Charlie Brown next door. Anyway,
it might be Charlie Brown Christmas too.
Quite possibly. Is that on tonight?
I don't know. It sounds like it.
Maybe. Probably.
You hear Christmas? That's what I'm saying. It sounds a little like Christmas music. Can you guys hear the music in the background? Probably not, right?
No.
They probably put it on because we're loud.
Oops. We've been in a loud visiting room all day.
Notes are a good idea. Thanks.
Nope, they can't hear it. Okay. So,
Do you ever notice on the phone he can't hear background noise because they have it all blocked out? Like, I'll be in a crowded room and I'm like, do you hear all that? He's like, no.
I don't know what to tell you on that one. No, Eric will be like, where are you?
Thank you for all you do. Oh, you're welcome.
You are welcome. Yeah, it's all her. I wouldn't be in my situation if it wasn't for her in both rounds of it, for real. And I may come back. I don't know. I mean, I miss you guys. It's been...
I would say I miss you too, but you're right here.
It's almost a year. It's been almost a year since I've been gone. So,
are you guys in a hotel or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are in a hotel. We are in here for visit. Lauren, come back.
Oh.
Yeah, so we are at visit. We have one more day tomorrow. And then I will fly home on Monday morning.
Looks like what?
It looks like it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, we are.
Yeah, we are in a hotel. We are for sure in a hotel. And there's a lot
We're
of
in
snow.
like a cheesy motel, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's freaking cold outside. Yeah. I left 70, 80 degree weather to land in 14-degree weather.
Manila envelopes work. Very
good to know. I forgot to ask him that today.
Yeah. Well, now we know. Thank you for sharing your story.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, and if you guys have actual questions for me, like specifically, you can always email her and then she can get them to me, or send her a message. I am on our Facebook page, in Invisible Shackles. I am still there.
We've been out for an hour?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
I wish I could visit. I got denied.
Oh.
Did they say why you got denied? Do you have, are you, on his case, or is there domestic violence, or did they say why? Do you have criminal in your background? Or if you feel like sharing, I'm just curious.
Is it cheaper to mail a bunch of cards than to mail something about water damage, felony probation? Okay.
Oh, the water damage.
Oh yeah.
Ceiling. Oh yeah. Yeah. We're not in the lap of luxury by any means.
I actually noticed that last night.
You did? I didn't even. I think I'm just so used to staying in this.
Actually.
You guys need to see the floor though. This hot ass. I was like, Lauren, brace yourself. The floor in this room is hot. They just redid it. They took the rug out and they put in most spectacular flooring. We'll show you before we go.
I don't think it's that bad.
I think it's terrible. I think it's like Mrs. Roper would have this flooring, and I just aged us a lot. Because I think half the people on here probably don't know who Mrs. Roper is.
I personally think that looks like the Texas Longhorn. I'm just saying.
God.
Just saying. I thought that last night when I was laying in bed.
You guys, look at this floor, and you tell me if Mrs. Roper would have this flooring. It's not awful.
Oh, and my socks.
And your socks.
Oops, my socks.
Well, you need them because of this flooring.
That, and it's 30 degrees outside.
And it's 30 degrees outside. I made him a card with 30 stickers. Oh, and he got them. I wonder if he got it before November 5th, or if the institution just didn't put the mail rules into effect yet.
Yeah, because for us, that definitely would not have gone through. She would, but it's a bit more outdated. My pants are falling down. For me, well, we talked about this yesterday with the new mail rules. Every facility is different. Leave it to me to know stuff like that. No, trust me, we noticed that up there too.
Looks like a seagull. It kind of does too. If you're looking at it from that way, but I see. Now only Texas more.
Well, yeah.
That's hysterical.
Anywho, back to what we were talking about. As far again, mailroom in your facility, it's easy. Call and say, hey, I'm new to the facility. I don't know what the mailroom rules are. I have a bunch of holiday cards I want to send. Can you have glitter? Can you have ribbons? Can you have 3D stickers? Can you have stickers? Can you have colored envelopes? Because every facility is different. Even in the BOP, you would think that they would be the same, and they're not. Even when it comes to visiting rules and what they allow in and what they don't allow in, they're supposed to be uniform, but we all know, and we're not gonna pretend like we don't know that they are all different. So the best advice I can ever give you is, if you don't know about mail stuff, pick up the phone and call the facility and ask to speak to the mailroom. Because
seems safe to not use glitter. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, in general, it's safe to not use glitter. It's also safe to not use colored pictures.
It's very Pennsylvania. Yes, it is. Very.
Well, we are in Pennsylvania. So, there you go. Yeah. We do grays in Florida. We do floor like this, but gray.
We don't do any of this. Is
well, it's very in Florida, we do tile that looks like wood floor.
Ooh, love that.
Because you can't actually do wood in humidity of Florida.
No, you can't.
So we do tile instead. And it looks really pretty.
I bet.
Yeah. And it's the ceramic tile, so it's real. It's actual real tile. So, yeah, ask for your mailroom rules. Wait, no colored pictures? You can do colored pictures. I'm talking like colored pictures like your kids draw.
Go back and watch the video, the live video that we posted yesterday. It's the one right before this, and it's titled something like the new federal mail rules. And Lauren literally reads the paper, and then she explains everything. So this way you'll understand what she means about pictures and colored pictures and taking pictures of cards. Really, really, really good advice in that video.
And that comment, he's in Pennsylvania State Prison, and all the mail goes to Florida, and it's inspected.
Yes.
That is so weird.
It's so crazy. And then there are books, and also in Pennsylvania State, they have a cold food, so only cold food. But for a long time, because of all that crap that happened over the summer, I was supposedly getting sick. Contaminated mail.
Sure.
Yeah. What does it get?
Because Florida's awesome. Just kidding. We're a screwed up state.
Why does it get routed to Florida?
Yeah.
For some reason, that's like the central, right, place where it's... I don't know why. They must be contracted with a company or something.
Quite possibly.
To like draw or something?
I don't... It just seems weird to me. I mean, I again, these guys are getting stuff in. They're smart. Like, for real. Yeah. That would definitely make sense. That just stinks, though, because it takes that much longer for them to get mail. And you just...
yeah, everyone's saying the same thing. It's a contract.
I mean, it definitely sucks, though, because then you have to send mail, like, so much sooner than anything else.
Yeah, like birthday cards and stuff.
Yeah, because it gets rerouted. Oh.
I have a very good friend. Her husband is in Pennsylvania State, and I'll ask her how long mail, unless somebody on here is, how long mail is taking to get to them once you send it.
Jay pays in Florida. Do you know where in Florida?
Oh, I didn't know that
either. I'm gonna guess Miami.
Do you ever wait, what? Do you
guys ever cry during visit?
I have in the past. I mean, I've been visiting for so many years, and so many topics come up, like talking about like people's failing health in your family. There we are.
And we're back. Yeah, Miami, that's what I figured. 2 to 3 weeks.
What's the company? Mailguard?
Mailguard. And it takes 2 to 3 weeks for it to go through.
So what I'm going to assume is, I don't know if I should even say this on a video, there's something going on there with money for those.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And then what was the other? Oh, shit, I don't remember. What was the other one we were talking
I
about?
don't remember either.
We got cut off, and then we got reconnecting, and then reconnecting, and then so somebody put a dot so we can see the comments again.
We're gonna do
Please.
another live video at some point tomorrow too. So any questions you guys have?
Oh, do we ever cry at Visit? That was a thing.
Oh yeah.
No, I've never cried at Visit. I always have cried at the airport leaving.
Yeah, I don't cry because I have to leave him. I've never since day one cried because like I've had to leave him there or anything like that. I've cried less than a handful of times at Visit, and more because emotional topics have come up, or like Adam, Lauren got to see this firsthand, likes to push me outside of my comfort zone a lot of times, and sometimes he pushes a little too far, meaning well, but the delivery sometimes is a little bit off, and so he'll push me to the point where I get very uncomfortable, and like there's been a couple of times where it made me shed a couple of tears, but I think those are the only times.
And for me, I've never actually cried in Visit, unless it's 2 weeks isn't bad.
How was it meeting Adam?
Just as I thought it would be.
But you guys didn't really get to meet me.
No, we didn't. They were sitting on the other side of the visiting room.
So tomorrow, hopefully, they can meet me.
First time. Well, Mama, you should cry more often. Crying's cathartic. Yeah, cathartic?
Cathartic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like lethargic and cathartic together.
Yeah.
I knew what I meant.
What'd she say?
Oh,
Cool?
Pooh, she seems like a genuine person. Oh, he seems like a genuine person. He is.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, he
I
is.
mean, he definitely, like, I got to say hi to him from across the room. And of course, Eric is like very close with Adam on the inside. So, I mean, and I've been part of part of a couple phone calls already at this point with Adam. And so, I mean, yes, I got to meet the myth, the legend, Adam.
Hopefully, they'll talk more tomorrow, and then Lauren can give you guys a follow-up.
because we're assigned seats in the visiting room. Like when we showed up, I literally was like, "That's him," and they told me where to go. And we were sat on opposite sides of the room, so
and they're not allowed to, like, Lauren can't just get up and come over and talk to Adam. It's not like that.
How many hours do you get to visit in federal? Well, we were depends on what you think. I mean, it ends at 3:00.
On the computer, it says 8 to 3 or 8:30 to 3. What is it?
8 to 3.
8 to 3, and they're supposed to start processing visitors at 8. However, that is open to interpretation for each facility. I'm not going to say too much more because we're trying to get in there on time tomorrow, and I don't want to piss anybody off if they watch this video.
Yeah.
So,
most places are 8 to 3. You have to check the BOP website. Every place does it different. Some places have Monday visits, some places don't. I get 4 hours every Saturday and Sunday, thank goodness. I wish I had more visits. I will say that Eric is going to be able to transfer next year, and he's going to try and transfer closer so that I can visit more often, which would be really nice.
yeah, exactly, LD, something similar. And do you guys get family visits in Canada automatically? I'm curious how that works. I think they do, right? I mean, if you're married.
If you're married, I think if you're married, like Jen was that way, and
Yeah.
Ariel too.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it works if you're not married. If it's like the state of California where you have to be married for, sadly, no contact. No, we have to be together for a year before we can.
You know
Yeah,
what?
and I think that's like that in California too.
I actually have videos coming. I interviewed ladies from California, New York, Washington, actually a couple from California, a couple from New York, one from Washington who does it, one from Washington who's in the process. And I have plans to make videos on each of those states and what the family visits are like. And I got like all of the rules, the regulations, the emotions, everything. So those are coming in December. I just haven't had an opportunity to make them yet. And maybe LD, if you're interested, if you want, obviously it's very anonymous. If you wanted to talk about Canada, I would love to do that with you as well.
That's Eric.
Oh.
You
Okay,
need
you guys.
to find out.
We're gonna go anyway. It's been over an hour. We have to go to bed
Hello.
soon. So we will, Ro, if you ever want to interview, I'm down. Oh my God, I will follow up with you. That would be awesome. So we're going to go. Lauren got a phone call and it's getting late. I got to get ready for bed. You guys stay strong, love strong, keep supporting one another through this journey. Lauren says goodbye. It's one day closer to it all being over. Lots of love from Lauren's heart and my heart to all of yours. We'll be back on a live video tomorrow at some point after 3 o'clock. Night, you guys. We'll see you then. If you have any questions or if you have suggestions for topics, put them in the comments below and we will answer them tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.